And we're live. What's going on, everybody? This is Dylan with Dylan Talks Tone, and this is almost said this is our weekly gear news update, but that's not it because it's not Wednesday. It's Thursday, and we are coming to you from Texas Toast Guitars in Denver, Colorado-ish. We've been here doing some really fun stuff. This is our normal Q&A thing that we do every week, but we're going to do things a little different tonight, but not totally different. And yeah, so we've got a couple of questions that came in from Patreon over the last few hours. And also, if you have any questions and you want to ask them, put them in the comments. And Leslie will try to pick them out of there. And we will try to get those questions answered. Matt will be joining us momentarily after he grabs me and him a beer. And he will be coming over and joining us. And we'll be chatting. As you can imagine, Matt will talk a lot, so that means if you want to ask a question, if you use a super chat, Leslie will turn up the volume on the computer and use the horn so that we will know that there's a super chat, and we will stop what we're doing, and we will even stop Matt, and we will answer your question. We have some very exciting things to tell you about. I want to talk about what we've been doing here and how amazing it is, and that you should come and do it too. Sweet. I guess the Coors Light is yours.
You get the whatever that is from Odyssey Beer Works, the Great American Beer Works.
Excellent. And we're going to just kind of put you over there like that. Okay. So, what have we been doing this week, Matt?
Well, sir, it all started way back on Saturday morning. Y'all came in, and I opened the door and basically left. And you guys started tediously wrapping wire around bobbins by hand using machines, and turned a bunch of raw materials into fully operational electric guitar pickups. And I was stunned because I have wound exactly 4 coils in my life. And I'm like, no. And they were, you know how you saw them. And
wait, those 4 coils in your very first guitar that you've ever built are the only pickups you've ever made?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He showed me the other day his first guitar that he's ever built.
It would never occur to me to do it again because, I hated it so much.
Yeah. So we had 5 folks here who had never done it before, who had never seen, oh, we got a super chat. We got a super chat.
McNary, just for being Leslie and Dylan.
Thanks.
Oh, thanks a lot, Paul.
That. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate that. He's actually going to come out for a...
We have another one.
Uh-oh.
Is it from Paul McNary for thanks for being you too, Matt?
It is from Gary Redburn to see if I can really stop Matt.
Woo! Gary Redburn is in the room, y'all. He's in this room right now. So this is...
Hold on. First of all, Paul McNary is about to get an earful when he gets here and has to deal with me. Yeah, because I love yelling at people and hollering, and I love hearing my own voice. And, oh, man, I do, too.
Yeah. So it was really cool because there's 5 people that never wound a coil before, ever in their life. And they were successful on their... Well, we set it up so that for success.
Absolutely.
I wanted them to succeed. So what we did was we have 2 winders. We're going to talk about the expansion of that in a moment. But we had 2 winders. I set one up with kind of a dummy pickup on it so that everybody could kind of just get the feel for the machine. And even on that, only one person broke a wire.
Well, that's cool, man.
And it wasn't his fault. It wasn't actually his fault. It was something else happened that got caught. And once they got onto their pickups, they started winding their pickups. They did not have to start over on anything.
Did you have to use special gear for, novice winders?
No. We used all the same stuff I used. The same soldering iron, the same winders, the same everything. And they came out with stuff that was really good.
It looks fantastic. All of it. And the best part is it doesn't just look fantastic.
It sounds fantastic.
How do you know?
Because we brought our Somnium guitar that you can pull the pickups out and swap pickups in. So we made it to where they could easily swap pickups.
So I actually came in on Sunday. I came in on Sunday, and
Sunday?
y'all had you were swapping pickups out on the machine, and I got to hear the very first P90 with Alnico 8.
Mm-hmm.
Alnico 8
Yep.
pickups that I had ever heard in my whole entire life.
Honestly, was the ones that I've ever heard, and I'm not even the one that made the first one. And we are actually going to add them to our website because they are so good.
Cool.
Yeah, they're going to be called the
Zoltan.
The Straight 8. They're gonna be called
That's
the
a
Straight
way
8.
better name. Okay,
Yeah, they're going to be called the Straight 8. Yep. So no, they're really good. They're really good. So
remember that movie that Kevin Costner did, The Postman, where they had the 8 branded into their arm?
yes.
Yeah, you should not call it something like that.
No.
Okay.
No.
The Postman?
Yeah.
I've thought about getting a Texas Toast tattoo though. No,
One day, someone's going to show up here. Actually, I can't tell if it's going to be Doug and Dave that show up with matching Texas Toast tattoos, but I hope it's the Texas Toast Cross that is like the Dogtown one. I'm hoping Chris and Gary both have the shirts that are super rad.
Yeah. So that was really fun. But the cool part is that then they showed up on Monday. You guys have seen in one of the videos. There's going to be another video, I think, coming out tomorrow or Saturday or maybe Monday. I don't know.
Sunday,
maybe. Where they then built the guitars that all these pickups go in. I just think that's so cool.
If you tune into our channel tomorrow, whenever the reveal is, we're going to reveal all 6 guitars, and they'll all have the guitars that the guys built, and in many cases, the pickups that the guys built too.
Mm-hmm. No, that's very cool. Yeah, this has been super fun. I'm so stoked that we have actually, Matt and I have been plotting and scheming.
Mm-hmm.
And we came up with a plan to do it again.
A couple of them, actually.
Yeah.
Now, hold on. I think this bears mentioning. If you come to the pickup winding class, you do not have to attend the guitar building class, and vice versa.
At least this time, but they're all sold out.
Yeah. So there were only a dozen spots that I think we expanded to the guitar building workshop, and there were supposed to be 18 spots that I think we expanded to the wine pickups with Dylan from Dylan Talks Tone.
Yes.
And even I can figure out that means there are more pickups than guitars.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to come out and just and build the guitar and do the pick. You could do one or the other.
Yeah.
And in fact, people are doing exactly that. So it's working. It's really, really great.
Yeah, it's super fun. And so we started talking about this, trying to figure out how to do it again. And so one of the things that Texas Toast Guitars is really known for, well, I don't even know if it was on purpose.
It's being devilishly handsome.
Well, yeah, and the hat is the fabric top thing.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about what the normal fabric top class, well, we don't even talk about what is the November fabric top class?
All right, so
because there's only 3 spots left you need to know about.
What you and I came up with most recently was our November fabric top workshop, which what happens is participants send us the fabric that they want to use. We glue it to a body blank and seal it with the Simtex sealer, round 1. Everybody shows up and they do all the body work, and then they seal
cut it out and pin router.
Yep.
And, right.
Yeah.
Use the pin router on day 1.
First day out of the shoot. Whether you've been here 5 times or this is your first time,
or you've never used one in your life ever.
Yep, you're right out of the gate. You're on the pin router, and then we're back in the spray booth and we spray more Simtex sealer over, and then eventually before Friday, so that's on Monday. Before the Friday comes along, we do a burst. Mm-hmm. That is to say, you do a burst.
Sweet.
You do a burst, and then we do clear coats and all that stuff. And while we're waiting for paint to dry, actually, Chris and I have been working on how to do a paint class, and it always comes down to this: what do we do while paint's drying?
Oh,
ding, 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 ding.
Because there's a whole day in between where you're literally waiting for paint to dry.
Yeah. So we thought, why don't we wind pickups? That's something you could do. Hey, you could do something while paint's drying, and that could be the thing. So,
yeah. So that class in November, I'll leave a link to it after this live stream is over.
We kind of just came up with this.
Yeah. So it's still the details on the website and the price and all that stuff is still there's still things that got to get worked out. But basically in November, all that stuff is going to happen to where you'll get that.
And there's 3 spots. Possible if somebody really cool wants to come and we're all sold out, we might add another spot.
One more.
You got to be wicked cool though. Like if Keanu Reeves wants to come, that would be rad. Or yeah.
Gary says if I pay for his school class, he'll come.
Gary says if Doug pays, he'll come. Doug, I bet you that if you pay for, I bet you we could sell that deal out 4 or 5 times.
Your hotel, your food, all that. So the class is not your only price.
So
it's going to be fun.
So it's going to be our basically our Build a Classic fender, but with a fabric top component. There's no neck component,
right?
But there is a pickup winding component. Yeah, so it's going to be neat.
It's going to be cool. And then we are.
Hold on though. I dorked that up. There is a neck. It's just you don't get to make the neck,
right? Like
we normally do because we've substituted neck for pickups.
Yes, and I like that because, like I said, what are the coolest parts about coming to Texas Toast? Using the pin router,
devilishly handsome.
Seeing Matt and his hat. And using a pin router, seeing Matt in his hat, and the fabric top stuff.
Yeah.
Add pickups to that, and you have a pretty cool situation. So I think it's really cool. I'm really excited about it. It means I get to come back out here again. I want to do it. I think it's awesome. And we are also, I'm living in Matt's street.
In the module.
In the module.
But you guys are going all over the place.
We are.
You're doing. You were in Golden last night. You're going to Hartselle this weekend.
Maybe.
Yeah. But you're going to Hartselle at some point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what I was going to say is, we're having coffee every morning, and we are continuing to plot and scheme.
Coffee talk.
And we have some really, really neat ideas. All we're going to say is we have some really, really neat ideas for 2023.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we can say right now.
Yeah, but you'll know more as the month progresses because we'll have something to show you.
By the time I leave here this time.
No later than.
Yes. And for those of you that are on my channel who are like, I've watched Texas Toast before, but I don't totally get it, you're going to want in.
Yeah.
Really cool. It's really cool. So just know that. I think you're going to dig it. So we're working on a thing. I just want to say we're working on a thing. Do we have any questions in the comments over there that are not super chats?
I have some, yeah.
Okay. We should take the 2 that came from Patreon and then go to some of those questions, and we'll try to do them as rapidly as possible.
I'm going to answer Ryan's question right now. What makes me the ideal male specimen? Everything in general and one thing in particular, Ryan.
Actually,
was that the question?
Pretty close. Go ahead.
That's a macho man thing. Oh, I should have done everything in general and one thing in particular. Okay, sorry.
Ryan, how much do you love me?
That was pretty close.
Not too far off, really. Yeah.
We love you, Ryan. We love you. Next.
I hope that the next question is equally absurd.
Yeah, Leslie.
Vinny, for P90s.
That dude's awesome.
Isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, not you, Ryan, but Vinny is totally cool. No, Ryan, we love Ryan.
We like Vinny, too.
For P90s, are there any major differences between adjusting the individual screws, adjusting the height of the entire pickup? Does adjusting the full piece screws even do all that?
That's a great question.
Yeah, and
it's almost as good as why do we love Ryan?
I know, and I'll tell you the answer. It's because, so just adjust the entire height of it.
Yeah.
I mean, really, don't overthink it. Back in the day when they were running, 7 1/4 and even crazier, with basically the P90 was put into acoustic guitars, pretty much. Like in the early
getting right down to it.
Right,
yeah.
in the late 40s and early 50s. And so the radiuses were weird, and they were adjusting the screws because they could not adjust the height of the pickup in some of those because the way they were mounted. And so But now you can adjust the height because you got the 2 holes. Oh, look at this. We got a cover right here.
Oh, okay.
You got the 2 holes in the middle, and it's on foam or springs or something. Just adjust the height.
I have never adjusted
Played
the individual pulls on a P90 or okay, I'm sure I've done it on a humbucker because I read that thing in Guitar Player that said all the humbucker screws need to be these, you know how like they have that thing. Yeah. I'm sure I did that, but I don't. Yeah. Have you ever adjusted the pulls on a P90, Chris? Ever?
Yeah, I matched them to the radius.
Okay.
One time, but ultimately I like flat.
But it was probably not a 10-inch radius or a 12-inch radius or a 4. It was probably something.
Well, I just measured from the string to the pole.
Yeah,
and
it wasn't extreme.
But ultimately, I just like them. Yeah.
Exactly.
Flat.
And actually, humbuckers, the Seth Lover patent, did not have adjustable screws.
Oh, it just was those slugs.
It was just the slugs on both sides. However, the marketing department was like, the P90s had adjustable screws, and if we take that away, people are going to be kind of like, how do we adjust them? So let's put
you could put adjustable screws on there.
So they did.
There are a number of pickup manufacturers who make rails and covers that are plastic or whatever with no adjustments or no exposed pulls. So
you don't hear about people wanting to adjust the pulls on an EMG.
No,
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the pulls on a rail pickup from DiMarzio.
For sure.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Next question. Oh, super chat. We got a super chat.
That means we have to drink. Chug.
Yeah.
Corey Foregrave. Are the different
This is a fun game.
It is.
Related to each other? Is a 3 closely related to a 4 and a 4 related to a 5, etc.? Or are each Alnico magnet completely independent?
Hold on one second. If you guys send super chats, Dylan and I will do shots. We'll shots of beer. We'll just chug them. We'll just throw them back.
Okay.
And Corey Foregrave is like right in town. Super cool dude.
Oh,
have you ever met Corey?
No, I hope he comes by because he always sends super chats.
You should.
Dude, please come by.
Yeah.
We'll be here till the end of the month.
And the 7 o'clock show is completely different from the 9 o'clock show.
Exactly.
What was the question again?
Alnico 2, 3, 5. So it's aluminum, nickel, and cobalt. That's what Alnico stands for. And when you get 2, 3, and 5, they're just adjusting the proportions of each to make them stronger. And so an Alnico 5 or an Alnico 8 magnet can be charged up to a particular Gauss reading, magnet strength, and a 2 and a 3 is less. And that's all it really is. The magnetic potential of each magnet, it gets higher as the number gets higher.
Are you suggesting that you don't get 3 more tones from an Alnico 5 than an Alnico 2?
No.
I'm going to start telling people that. you get a 3% increase in tone going from 2 to 5.
Right. No.
Are you
No.
at any point are you like,
No.
why did I say Matt
No.
do this with
Matt,
me?
you think anybody could actually prove it?
How would you prove you get any percent increase in tone?
I don't know that cobalt is magnetic by itself. I think it has to be.
Yeah.
Oh, super chat.
That was from GG and stuff.
Hey, what's up, GG and stuff?
Chug. You're gonna have to do this every time from now on.
I know.
You know, there are $2 super chats. I could do about 15.
There's 99-cent super chats. Right? Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
From Rick B. Chug.
Okay. Let's ask another question before we get too many
Before we
more
get
super
chug,
chats.
it's just gonna be us chugging beer.
Gotta get a
All right.
couple cans ready.
Well, let's first. We've already answered them in the questions, but
I should have come up with this for my
channel.
channel.
Of you have cutoffs on.
You know, I got cutoffs on, baby.
I don't.
I see.
I got shorts though.
I get in the picture here. Yeah.
Show them your shoes. Too.
I got Birkenstocks on.
So
today.
here's the. I'll tell you the secret to the beer chug.
Yeah.
So afterwards,
They don't know what's in here, but yeah.
I don't want them to know the secret to the beer chug. But let's just say.
That is from Van Shank Guitar.
Let me guess.
Yes.
Chug.
15 months of membership. Bottoms up.
Thanks.
I think the secret is to
Let's
drink
just say-
something with hardly any alcohol.
Let's just say that after a motocross race, the guy that wins is not chugging Red Bull while he's doing his interview.
So here,
That's from Gigi and stuff. Chuck.
but here's something about Hawk Attack you may not know. Let me give you a Hawk Attack story. For those of you who don't
Matt's
know,
band.
my band is Hawk. It's the same three guys, same three chords since 2005. And when that remember that show where Bret Michaels was like trying to win dates with strippers and they'd like crash motorcycles into each other to like get dates with them and stuff. Somehow or another, like everybody said awesome a lot. So we would do this thing where we would
That's Paul McNary. He said, "Okay, Matt, you are special too."
thank God bless you. So we would do these things called awesome shots, where anytime anybody ever said awesome on the Rock of Love or whatever, yeah,
Right.
we would do a shot of, because if it was like shot of whiskey, we'd be dead
Right.
in an episode. But yeah, so we do shots of beer, and it was really fun.
Makes sense.
Now you have to
Makes
do it
sense.
on all your live streams.
I know.
You're
It's
welcome.
Gonna, it's going to catch on.
You're welcome.
So, I do want to talk about the topic a little bit.
Oh,
So,
okay, good idea.
the thumbnail on there. Leslie never knows what they are, and then she's just like, "Oh my god." The thumbnail is why I think guitars should be more expensive.
Yes.
And after hanging around here for a few days, I mean, I've been here before, but I'm going to be here a month, and so even the behind the scenes stuff, before everybody gets here, and Matt and Chris are yelling at each other.
You've been out here for like a week.
Yeah.
Before, yeah.
You start to realize that guitars don't make themselves, and we talked about it in your live stream a little bit, but shaping a neck, for example, which is the whole guitar besides the pickups, to me, the neck and the pickups, and
then
the fact
paint.
and the fact that and if
Paint
Chris
too,
paints it,
yeah.
the paint, but and that the fact that the bridge is in the right place. Those are probably the three most important things.
Yeah.
The shape of the neck, the bridge is in the right place, and the pickups.
That's what separates the 8th grade shop project
Yes.
from, yeah.
And it just doesn't happen. It's a skill, and even doing it by hand, a deadhead sander isn't like 1995.
No.
No,
I don't know that. I think the Fender Custom Shop still has the deadhead sander, but I think it's just for pictures, like in the catalog. I mean, I don't know that they use it. Why would they, really? Realistically, I mean,
I'm pretty sure, and I could verify this and put it in another live stream in the future, but I'm pretty sure they CNC what you would do on the bandsaw.
oh, you know what? I know that Warmoth still has a deadhead sander,
Oh, do they?
but I think they use it for like final sanding. It comes off. I know that it comes off of a CNC, and then they kind of like they clean it up.
So I want to dive into this a little bit more after we go out to talk
Okay.
to Steve at Maximum Guitar.
Yeah.
Because I want to understand, because people are in the comments going, yeah, but a Squier or whatever guitar is made on a CNC machine and you could do bajillions of them a day. But I want to
Still
know,
have to do all the same steps, though. Yeah, whether
Yeah.
it's a Squier or a custom shop Fender.
you CNC'd some necks. Now, let's just be super clear here. A Texas Toast guitar, when you order a Texas Toast guitar, they don't use a CNC machine on any of the wood or anything.
It's funny that you should
It's-
say that, because I was talking with the guys from Laguna Tools just today about a different CNC machine, and mostly so that we could keep up for workshop stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
So if you
But-
come here for a workshop, it's possible that your neck the outline of it may be cut out on a CNC machine. But if you buy a custom guitar from Texas Toast Guitars, that's all done the old-fashioned way.
yeah, and I
Just wanna be clear about
told Tim at Laguna Tools, in case somebody wants to check up on me, that if you look up pin router, if you do a Google search for pin router, you will see my wildly handsome face very, very soon. It's like number 3. It's either number 1 or number 3 down. You'll see me. You'll see a video of me with a pin router.
I'm afraid to take a sip of beer without a super chat. Because
Yeah, 'cause
if we get a bunch of them, then I'm gonna just be.
I kind of. So hold on. Let's see what happens. So anyway, so I'm like Tim, but I think I need a bigger CNC machine, something more industrial. And I'm like, look, if you buy one of my Challenger guitars, I'll still do it on the pin router because that's kind of what I'm into.
Right.
That's what. Okay, so I'm just gonna type in pin router,
Right.
and you know what? I'm wrong. I don't pop up right away.
Put images. Go up to the top.
Okay, let's go. Yeah,
because I bet your face will be there. This is an interesting concept to think about because even
Actually, I'm not. I'm like, yeah, you got to scroll way down.
Even the CNC machine stuff.
Well, no, here I am.
There you are.
Okay,
there you are on Google. So a CNC machine is almost $250,000.
Now there are CNC machines and then there are CNC machines.
I'm talking about the ones. One of my buddies just priced out a Haas, and it was $250-ish. And
not $250.
$250,000.
Yeah.
So what that means is, in order for, and we have a machine expert here. He's over there sign languaging to me, and I know for sure that when you buy a piece of equipment, and even your equipment here, in order for that equipment to be worth the purchase, you have to use it so many hours a day, so many days a week, so many months a year for that to pay for itself. And so that is why a Squire is made on a CNC machine. That doesn't necessarily mean the guitar should be cheaper.
But what I was telling Tim from Laguna just today was, I'm going to continue to make all the Challengers on the pin router, the old school way, the way that I do things, because it's the one thing that I have that I can compete. Hey, I'm almost out of beer. I'm make you want to holler, hi-de ho. Because that's the one thing that I can do that I can compete. I can go, look, all of my Challengers are made the same way that God bless you, Doug, the same way that I've always done it, and it's the way, the old school way, the old school factory way. And I think it's cool, and I think other people think it's cool too. So
well, as I hang around here and I think about it, it's like, and I watch what's happening, and even when you watch these workshops where you have people coming off the street who may have never built a guitar before, never used a pin router, never used a bandsaw, I don't even mean to make it sound like that, taking for granted that I've used a bandsaw, but there's a lot of people who haven't, and they can come in here and they can build a guitar, and I know for sure, because I've had these conversations with them, that they now appreciate.
And what's cooler too, like, I came in and I routed it all out by hand, with my hands guiding it in a dangerous way along the pin router, and it's loud and dangerous and messy, or I clamped it to the sacrificial board on the CNC machine and pushed the button, and it did a lot of work for me, and then I sanded it. Or I think it's cooler to do it on the pin router.
And I just feel like there's a level of appreciation by these folks. I know for sure after they came through the pickup winding thing, they're like, I will never complain about how much a pickup costs again in my life, because it's hard. And it's an interesting thing once you actually do it. I just think it's a very interesting thing to think about. Can we take a couple more random questions out of the comments?
Nick Winning, what pickups would you recommend for a late 90s Epiphone Les Paul? DAF, Movie, Center Punch, and why? I didn't make the pickup class for my birthday, so maybe new pickups instead.
DAF.
Nick, hold on. Nick was going to be our very first attendee to a workshop
from over the pond.
From the UK.
Yeah. And
stuff happens, and he was unable to make it. So, Nick, we are disappointed, but understand that you're not.
And actually, Nick, we have a 4-week wait right now for stuff, but because you could not make it, if you order it, I'll tell you what. Everybody who orders any pickups tonight and uses code Texas Toast, we'll just let you use Texas Toasts because we're here. We'll let you use their discount code, and you'll get 10% off. And
so you get 10% off, and you get
a couple bucks
we get a little
too.
taste. Yeah, okay.
And I will make sure that I make them while I'm here, so at least you have a set of pickups that were made here while I was here because you couldn't make it.
It's got mojo, baby.
Yeah, so we'll do that, and I promised. I did not actually promise, but I kind of promised. It's on still.
Okay.
I kind of promised him. I didn't say this, but I was going to surprise him, but I'm just going to tell him. He ordered a pickup from me. Oh, man, it's got to be almost a year ago now. And he messed it up when he put it in.
Okay.
And
Shit happens.
Yeah. And normally I'm like, you just kind of got to buy a new one. And then he was like, I can't come. All of a sudden I can't come. And I thought, because you couldn't come, I'm just going to make one while we're here. So I'm going to do that too. I'm going to make him a strap pickup. Oh!
That's from
Dylan,
Vinny's
you've
World.
got to be getting empty. You ready for another?
No, I'm good.
He said,
I'm Red Bulling it over here.
What's the one for the trusty pin router?
Yeah.
Who
Cool,
said?
man.
Who said?
Vinny's
Vinny.
World.
Yeah, the
What's
pin router is.
11? What does that mean? 11.11. He did $11.11.
It means it goes to 11.
11, right?
Was there's one more?
Well, 11 is some kind of like good luck thing, right? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So when I do Vinny's carve top,
Mhm.
I'm doing it all in the pin router.
Yep.
I mean, well, actually,
And when I make the P90s,
I'm actually carving
for
it by
Vinny,
hand. But yeah,
When I make the P90s for Vinny, I'm actually doing it by hand too.
now that's a cool thing. You could have a machine that like winds the thing, and I mean, you have a machine,
Right.
but it's like the pin router. You have to guide it, and you have to
Yeah,
tell it what
yeah.
to do.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Leslie and I have talked about that a lot of times. We could, A, hire a bunch of people, or B, get one of those machines that does it all by itself, and I
Yeah.
could just go have a coffee but it's just not the same.
It's a different thing. Yeah, like
It's just not the
nobody
same.
thinks that Seymour Duncan winds all the Seymour Duncan.
And it doesn't
But-
have anything to do with there's 20% more tone because we're doing it by hand.
20%. Oh wait, no, there is.
Okay, maybe there. But it's the fact, and you say it, actually, I think it's really neat that you say it about our stuff, is that when you order a pickup from us, you know that I made it.
You know that you made it,
And if I order...
or you know that you at least like if one day you get Abigail Ibarra to wine pickups for you, you're still gonna like do something. You know what I mean? It's your thing.
Right.
Is Abigail Ibarra gonna wine pickups for you?
I have a set of her pickups.
Do
but
you
I,
really?
Oh, yeah. But
Okay.
I am not going to get any from her because she doesn't do it anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like yeah, it's a cool thing to know that right now, if you buy a guitar from us, Chris and I do the whole thing. If you
Mhm.
buy a pickup from you guys, you and Leslie do the whole thing. It's a cool thing. Doc told me the only guitars that finds interesting anymore are stuff that he knows the people who did them. I don't know where did Doc leave already?
Doc had to go. Yeah.
All right.
No, and he came from Canada for this.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
Yeah.
which actually Doc is our first international. Chris, is that accurate? Have we had anyone from Canada prior to Doc?
No, he is also our first metric student.
Our first international and metric. Yeah.
yeah.
What about doctor? Is he the first doctor?
No,
No, he's not the
he's
first
way
doctor.
down the list on like number of doctors we've had here.
Yeah. But metric, that was a thing for a minute. Luckily, he lives close enough to the border that he's also
Yeah.
familiar with the Imperials.
Canada seems to sort of like America Junior. I don't count it as like as international.
Well, it's still North America. We
Yeah,
are
yeah.
all North America.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give us a couple more questions at the...
Okay, Rock Daddy just said, you say guitars should cost more. Shame on you. You guys in Tribal should all be spanked for that.
Come over here and spank me.
Yeah,
then.
I mean, here's what I would say. I would invite you to come and do this. Like, come and do this for a week. We take for granted that we can hit an Amazon Prime button and crap shows up at our door in 2 days.
Yep.
We take that for granted. When you come and do it, I can guarantee you that there's a bunch of folks that have been building guitars all week sitting on the other side of the camera right here, and I can guarantee you that none of them will complain about how much a new Telecaster costs. I can guarantee you that because they've tried to experience it
If
for
you come
themselves.
out here and build a guitar with me for a week and still feel like it's
Yes.
no work at all, then you can spank my lily white butt on YouTube.
in his cutoffs.
No, I'll do bare ass.
Next question.
I'm assuming this for Matt. Dan of NJ says, how long till you get CNC?
Well, Dan, we've had a CNC for
Oh, wow.
a couple years now. We mostly do inlay with it.
Mhm.
But as far as I'm concerned, if you ever buy a Challenger guitar, it's going to be something that I made. And it's funny because one of the things that is a dream of mine is to have to be able to offer classes once a week rather than just once a month.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I can't build guitars and I can't teach workshops. So I have thought about this, and I'm like, I would rather have people teach other people how to make Strats and Tellys than pay someone to make my guitar.
Right.
So what I would do at that point is I would come in and say, hey, everybody, and I would come and hang out and drink beers and come holler at people and do that shit. But then the rest of the week I would make challengers. This is kind of a dream of mine, and if that ever happens, then it happens. If not, then that's okay too. You never know what's going to happen when you start doing, you know what I mean? You don't get to pick your audience.
I just thought about a video that we should make while we're here.
All right.
I would like Chris to make a neck for the class on the CNC and show
that's a great
what
idea,
a neck actually looks like. Because I think people have a misconception about it's not a microwave. You don't friggin' put a burrito in there, and a minute later, you have a burrito.
I could go for a burrito.
I could go for a burrito. It's not like that.
Yeah.
There is, first of all, hours of programming and all that stuff. But then, like your CNC machine, even if you got a bigger one that you've been talking about, it's still going to take 15 minutes to run that thing.
Well, it takes about 30 minutes on our current machine to do a neck
outline.
So could someone hand me some of those things down yonder that
Oh yeah, do the
blank. So the blank one? No, right?
that one and
the one that one.
Yep.
Yep, exactly. Perfect.
So thank you, Ryan.
We don't even need to do the video. We're just doing it right now.
Well, but we'll
do it because we want to show it.
Cool. Yeah. So what we do is we start with a block of wood like this, and we cut a truss rod slot in, and we glue a fretboard to it. Cutting the truss, getting the blank ready to go takes however long it takes to machine the wood down to 3/4 by whatever it is, and then we cut a truss rod slot. We plop a truss rod in it. We glue a fretboard down to it, and that takes whatever time it takes.
Yep.
Then we cut it out, and it looks like this. So we cut a notch for the thickness of the headstock. We don't put the swoop in it on the CNC machine. We could, but we don't. We don't put the fret slots in it, but we cut all the way around, and we put the holes for the tuners, and then but it's
a billet, really.
Yeah.
There
we can't see what y'all are seeing.
Oh, sorry.
So
eyeball focuses.
Yeah, so and then
this is what the students start. Oh,
then we cut the fret slots.
Not on the CNC machine.
Not on the CNC machine.
I put that in a video earlier this week.
Yep. And then we do this scoop on a couple of different sanding operations.
So when the student comes to learn how to build a guitar, this is what they start with. So even this, and it takes to do this outline, wouldn't you say, Chris, somewhere approaching 30 minutes?
Just to do the outline,
just
to do the scoop and the tuner.
Yeah. So it's not a frozen burrito. It's not. You just don't just. What's that?
That's chug.
Chug. Yeah, that's going to be my guitar tomorrow. Chris is going to show us how to do that.
I will show you how to do it.
Oh, cool. So I just really think that people don't understand what goes into this stuff, even when you have a machine, because this is hours. This is a full day. A neck.
Yeah, I mean, and if you were at Fender and they have a great big CNC machine that does multiple necks at one time, they do more.
They can get it closer.
They make more guitars in 10 minutes than we make all year long.
Right.
Paul Reed Smith makes more guitars in 2 days than we make all year.
Right.
Right.
But the infrastructure and the cost to even get it to that point. I guess that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's either it's the time or it's the money to pull it off. But just because how a guitar is made doesn't mean it should be cheaper.
Now, here's the funny thing. Wood costs money.
Yep.
Materials cost money. $250,000 Haas CNC machine costs money. gee, Dylan, your guitars shouldn't cost. Guys, even if labor is free, the rig to do this, they're not giving it away.
No.
The number of things that get fucked up because wood isn't a homogeneous commodity like aluminum.
Right.
Bits wear out. Shit costs money.
And I was thinking about too, not even just the machine, but like people don't think about like this.
Yeah.
Here's a bit for a machine.
Yeah. Yeah, they just go, well, all it is some wood, and so I could go to Home Depot and then make it.
Yeah.
So
I just think that people don't think about all.
Dude, if I had a $500,000 CNC machine, I could make those necks all day for nothing. Do it then. I double dog dare you.
Yep. Can we take a couple more questions?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Al Adolphson, just an old guy. I'm looking to drop your DAFs into my PRS SE 245. Are there any real benefits to upgrading the pots in the PRS? If so, what pots do you recommend?
Those are probably alphas if it's an SE, and those are actually okay unless you have a problem with them. Don't spend money unnecessarily, I guess is what I would say. Put the pickups in there, see if you like them. And if the taper doesn't work well, if it's like turning it off, it's kind of like a switch, then put some new pots in it with a better taper. But other than that, don't waste your money yet.
I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay.
I'm going to say if you're going to upgrade the pickups, upgrade all the other electronics.
Do it at the same time.
Because you're only doing one.
Okay.
So think about this for a while. Who was the name of the fellow who Al. So Al, think about it like this. If you had to make one guitar and you put, those like swanky Dunlop $20, how much are those pots?
Yeah,
15,
$22. Yeah.
Let's say they're $20. In a PRS SE, you got two of them.
Right.
If you were doing one guitar, you're at $40, and put like a oil and paper cap in there, and a bunch of other neat shit like that. Yeah, go crazy. If you had to do 1,000 of those every month,
then 15 cents cheaper makes a difference.
Makes a big difference.
Yeah,
you got one guitar.
I guess that's true.
So why not? Go ahead and be sure.
Yeah. I guess that's true. There's two ways to look at it, I guess.
It's fun to do.
Yeah, it is fun to do. That's true. I look at it with a lot of people that ask me this stuff about, doing things in steps. I mean, you just bought a set of pickups. I like for people to feel or hear the difference of each thing at a time. But at the same time,
There's a lot to be said, though, for change one thing.
Yeah. So, but Matt is right. I mean, it is one guitar. It is one guitar, and if you can swing it, then you're only taking it apart once.
Back in the old school days when I was doing a lot of competitive shooting, it was either buy a Hart barrel or buy a Packnor barrel and be sure. Not that all the other barrels weren't good, but you buy that. Though, doing motorcycle racing, it was probably buy this carburetor or whatever, and be sure.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
You always say it like buy once, cry once.
Buy once, cry once. And a wise person said that, not me, and a dumb guy repeated it, me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Next question.
Driddle just wants to know, since you confirmed about the short shorts, where does he send his singles to get them in the waistband?
Just send them to my house.
Yeah, there's a super chat button right there.
Fat Philosopher, hello from Japan.
All right.
At what price point are upgrades purely for aesthetic?
It depends what the upgrades are.
Okay. Believe it or not, I have an opinion on it.
Okay, do it.
Okay, we have something that a wise person said to us, and a dumb guy, me, repeated it. There's two kinds of cool things are cool because they're cool.
Agreed.
Right? So we have something that we stole from another YouTube personality, and it is there's first cool, quantifiable, price, value, things that like it has.
If it serves to the function, it actually makes it better,
and you can quantify.
Yes. You can. For example, going from cheap Chinese tuners to hip shot tuners, you can feel it, you know it. It's a quality thing.
Yep.
You can tell.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
First cool.
That's first cool. Then there's second cool. If someone throws the second cool flag, which is I like it because I like it, well then how do you argue with that?
Yeah.
And
I
you don't.
agree. No.
So if you have something that because you think it's rad and you want it, excellent. You just go with that second cool. If someone throws that second cool flag, everybody on the other side of the aisle needs to shut the fuck up because it might not be cool to them, but they can't go. I like red cars because they're cooler than blue cars. Yeah.
I 100% agree with you on this because one of the things that so I'll give you an example. There was a comment in a YouTube video the other day, and it was I made this video, and it was this is the difference between an Epiphone Les Paul and a Gibson Les Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Objective, like laminated maple instead of a real maple, all the actual technical things. And somebody got in the comments and said, I can't call this objective because I don't think a Les Paul is worth it. And I'm like, that's called subjective.
Yeah.
As long as you can understand that you're doing something subjectively because you like it, it's okay. Doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me at all.
How many people have had the opportunity to play a legitimate vintage? Okay, all right, here's a question. The other day, you and I were over at Jim Jam Jimmy's place.
Right.
He has a legit 57 Strat.
Yep.
How many Strats have you played in your life? 100 million.
Tons of them.
You called that one out. What is that one noticeably better because it's better? Or is it noticeably better because it's really cool?
I think... Okay, so that guitar...
How about this? Have you ever played a 57 reissue Strat that was just as beat up as Jim's legit 57 reissue? Or legit 1957 Stratocaster?
So that's an interesting thing. I have played some of the best relic, reissued, custom shop. We're talking thousands of dollars, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 custom shop stuff.
There's a reason people make replicas of that
and
guitar.
They are really, really good.
Yeah.
And I've played 57, 54, 63, 60. I've played all of that stuff. And it is 100% subjective which one you think is better and which one you feel has the vibe. Yeah. The coolest thing about Jim Jam Jimmy's guitar is the fact that he's had it since he was 11 years old, and every bit of that wear on that guitar was something that he did. That guitar was mint when he got it, and he wore it out.
His dad paid 50 or 75 bucks for it, in the 70s. Yeah.
Honestly, you could say that the story is what makes the guitar cool. The guitar, actually, the volume pot's super scratchy, and you have to wiggle it to make it work right.
It's a rad guitar.
But so, if you really got objective about it, you're like, it's an old, worn-out guitar.
Yeah.
So I think all of that stuff doesn't matter. I think you play what you want to play.
But cool things are cool because they're cool, not because they're quantifiable. Yeah,
I agreed.
And being cool costs money.
No, that's definitely true. That is definitely true. Leslie.
All right, Slacker.
I want a shirt that says that, Ryan.
I used the pin router for the first time on Monday. Amazing how much confidence it gave me that I could work with Receives.
That is awesome. Give us another one.
The pin router is rad. Okay, I realize I'm yapping. I hear this all the time. Oh, the CNC machine gives you this level of accuracy that the pin router is wildly accurate.
Oh, 100%.
And when you're talking about lumber, which moves around a lot over the course of a year, the pin router kicks butt. And
it does.
You can,
especially when you're using templates from Maximum Guitar Works.
There
will be a link in the description. Go ahead.
You were talking about classes earlier. Chris Hendricks wants to know, could a fella do a Firebird?
Chris Hendricks, man, that guy's totally cool.
If Chris Hendricks wants to do a Firebird in November and a fabric top on it and a bolt-on neck, no.
Mostly because it's Chris Hendricks, but no, I don't know. So we are limited to the size of the body blank.
Oh, that's right. Firebird is a big body.
Yeah. So Chris, send me an email and let's see if you could do a non-reverse Firebird all day long, which is rad, by the way.
Totally rad.
All right, Percy Plumlight. Hi, Dylan. Can you design a pickup to be specifically used by modelers?
No, because No, I can't, because a modeler is a snapshot of an amp.
I thought you were talking about like those guys who make dioramas.
No, I was talking about people that wear cutoffs and show everybody their legs on a routine basis.
Let me sniff some of that model glue over there.
No.
There really is model.
I know, I see right here. Yeah. No, you cannot. Basically, a pickup literally is a thing that transfers motion into electricity and creates a voltage. So, I mean, I'll give you an example of a modeling pickup that works pretty cool.
What's the ideal pickup for a digital modeling?
There isn't one. There isn't one.
Okay.
Because all it is a voltage producer. An example of what he's talking about, though, where it's specific to modeling, is like a Line 6 Variax guitar. Listen to... It's an Australian band.
Do they still even make that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. Right.
There's a band called 12 Foot Ninja from Australia. Google some of their stuff and look at the rig rundowns and stuff of 12 Foot Ninja, and he puts actual modeling to good use and makes it very cool. But it's a completely different process. It's not a regular pickup in a guitar. Give us the next one.
Kelly Stillfield, any advice on making a single coil for a two-string bass?
Two
Wrap
strings.
a bunch of wire in a circle.
Use half of a P bass bobbin, of a P bass setup.
You know, to be
And
rad,
center it underneath there.
You could buy one P bass pickup and use it as a 2-coil.
Oh, like put it side by side like this.
Or you could separate them.
Oh, separate them and have a pickup switch like neck and bridge. With
Yeah.
Dude, good idea. He wins. That's a good idea. Yep.
Just winning tonight.
Do you make bass pickups?
I do, and I would make that for you. You just tell me what the spacing is between them, and we would wind them up and give you a wire in between so they would hook up and they would still be hum canceling. That would be cool. That'd be cool.
Bomb, 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 bomb.
Yep.
Chris Hendricks. Mark Agnassi asked Caesar while going over his insane collection if Gibson is making guitars better today than they did in 1959.
Let me see if I can guess what he said.
Would you have a 2021 59 Les Paul from the custom shop?
Oh yeah, for sure. I would.
No.
You wouldn't?
Not a chance.
You would have.
Is what he's asking if I could have one or the other?
No, not okay. But see, this goes back to the 57 Strat versus the 57 Strat reissue.
Yeah.
If I was going to have a good guitar that I was going to use every night, cost not prohibitive.
Let me ask you,
I would have
Chris,
a new one.
Would your wife rather have a knockoff Louis Vuitton bag or the real thing? Because at some point,
I get that.
Because at some point, even if Gibson's making it, it's a knockoff of a 59. Sort of like saying, Kiss is a knockoff tribute band of the original band, which they are. So I
have experience with that since I've been here.
So it would be one thing if everybody who's in the band now had their own character, but there's guys dressed up like Ace and Peter Criss. So if the question is you could pick between a legitimate 1959 Les Paul, which by the way, there's only 1,700 of those guitars made from year X to year Y, and now there's only 30,000 of them in existence. So if you could have the real thing or a new version of that thing, why would you have that? Why would you have the? There's only one.
Yeah. Okay.
He finished it with the answer that I don't know if his name is Cesar. It's probably Cesar. Said they're making them better now than they did.
Of course, he's saying that because Gibson's biggest competitor is old Gibsons.
Oh, see, that is true.
It's Fender's biggest competition is old Fenders. Gibson's biggest competition is old Gibson.
It's interesting when you get into the bigger brands like that because it is literally more of a brand loyalty, a brand experience thing than it is the quality of the actual instrument itself.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. I've played a lot of old Fenders that are not good. Like, they're not. Everybody thinks that every vintage guitar is amazing. And the bottom line is, and I'll tell you that with Gibsons too. I got a buddy of mine that collects vintage
I've had
guitars.
a buttload of Gibson. They're vintage now, but when I got them, they were just old guitars.
Yeah, I got a buddy that collects them now, and he'll go through 3 or 4 or 5 of, he'll say, I want a 61 SG with the Maestro tremolo, right? And he'll buy 4 or 5 of them over a year before he finds the one that's good.
Yeah.
Because they're not all that
The Maestro tremolo is a piece of crap.
Well, the tremolo is a piece of crap, design-wise. But I'm just saying, to find a good guitar that sounds good and everything. And the same thing with Les Pauls. He'll go through all these old vintage guitars. And I do see Chris's point, because I really want a 57 Gold Top.
Well,
but I would just go buy a brand new one.
And Paul Reed Smith says the same thing. I'm sure that head of the custom shop at Fender says the same thing. We're making them better than they ever, and who knows, in terms of consistency and quality control wise, I'm sure that they are.
The thing is
they're not as cool as the legit.
The one thing that a CNC has over me and you is that if they're going to shape a neck, like a CNC doesn't care how many super chats it's got.
No.
Right? Like me and you, 9 or 10 super chats in, we're going to go shape a neck. It's not going to be as good as 2 super chats in.
Yeah, that's right.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, you're right. There's no Friday afternoon CNC.
Right.
Wait a minute, let's straighten that out. There's no using that tool anyway after Drake.
That's right.
That's right. Thank you, Doug.
That's right. Where a CNC machine, the play button, if you had 4 or 5 super chats, you could still just hit the play.
Our friend Doug Cower, who builds a lot of instruments and uses CNC technology, will be the first to tell you safety is really what the CNC brings. What the CNC machine brings to the table.
Safety.
Safety.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're a cowboy like me, just safety doesn't enter into the equation. So yeah.
Safety third.
Yeah.
Next question. That's it?
Yep.
We're almost done anyway, so yeah.
We are, yeah. Excellent.
Remind people about your deal.
Yes. So there's a couple things. If you order pickups tonight, use Texas Toast in the description, and you get 10% off.
And I'll send you a picture of my butt.
Maybe. I'll just put one on Instagram. How about that? Also, we should talk again about this fabric top thing.
We should talk about the fabric top thing. It is coming up. It's November 7th through the 11th.
Okay.
It's you get to use the pin router on day one. You get to have a fabric top. You get pin router, paint, assembly, and pickup winding all in 5 days. So you show up on Monday. You got a chunk of wood, and you get to use the pin router. You get to finish it up. You get to shoot it with paint. While the paint's drying, you get to wind pickups. Mm-hmm. When the pickups are done, the paint's dry, you get to start putting it all together. And in 5 short days, you have something badass.
Yep. And you will never, at the end of this, you will never be like, this guitar isn't worth it. You will have a completely different perspective of what all of this means.
Yep.
And the work that goes into it, the cost that goes into it, and then you will also have something that you are so proud of. Like, I don't know. It's a cool thing. And you will do it again.
When we first started this, I said, guys, when you go, like the very, very first workshop that we ever did, I said to Daryl, Chris, you remember everybody's name? Daryl, Tom, and Steve, Gary, Sean. Daryl, Tom, and Sean, and who spells it scene.
Right.
Daryl, Tom, and Sean.
Like pen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, you guys are going to go home, and when your wife has a dinner party, people are going to ask you, so Daryl, Tom, and Sean, what have you been up to? And you're going to run to the bedroom and get the thing that you made, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. No, I think that
it wasn't Daryl, Tom. It was Daryl, Tom, and Alec. Daryl, Tom, and Alec. Sean was
Those are your first ones?
Yeah, Sean was in the second workshop with Short Fat Lawyer, Steve, and It's on the tip of my tongue.
Scooter.
Dean, Scene, and
Yeah. And it was either you need to change it. It needs to be Dean and Scene or
Sean and Dawn. Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, now we have this week. We've had Dave, Doug, Don, Dylan, and Ryan.
Yeah, and Matt's tiny brain can't keep
Yeah.
track of them all.
No, it's been super fun, and I hope that you at some point can. Oh, super chat.
It was Gary again.
Did he left you out?
94 Dodge dude.
You weren't in the second one.
Dylan forgot.
Oh yeah. Thanks a lot,
I'm sorry,
dude.
Gary. Gary,
He's right here, dude.
I'm sorry, Gary.
Call him
Dave.
Who is the super chat from? Give his name.
94 Dodge dude.
94 Dodge Dude super chat.
I had a 75
Thanks
Dodge.
for the awesome
No.
content, guys. While you're in Colorado, you should check out Rocky Mountain Guitars in Salida.
Yeah, way to go. Talk about another guitar place that's not us.
They sell guitars.
I've heard of him, and actually, I believe that person left that comment on a video the other day, and I was going to look it up. So thank you.
Salida.
It's Salida, yeah.
Sorry, thanks.
Leslie's from the South. She talks funny.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You guys, thanks for hanging out. Please, over the next few couple weeks, we're going to have a bunch more stuff and information coming out about more fun stuff.
I have one more sip of beer.
That-
It's only going to take one more super
One
chat.
more super
If
chat.
someone throws in $20 more, I'm going
Leslie.
to chug this beer. Doug.
Leslie,
She's not listening to you.
she's not even paying
I'm
attention.
not listening. What?
He has one more sip of beer, and we're hoping.
All it takes is one. We know who we need is that lady who does all those horrible commercials where the animals are like chained to a fence, and she's like, all it takes is you to send in
Sarah
13
McLachlan.
cents a day.
Dude,
Yeah.
so my mother-in-law has this sick dog, like almost gonna die,
Oh.
and this super fat cat, like 20 pounds, and it was raining one day. I should show it to you. I made this hole every.
No, I'm not watching another.
No, I did it. It was like every day, thousands of video views. Go unsubscribed, and I made this like, please subscribe.
All
video.
we need is one more
And I
super
put this
chat.
sad music.
Nobody cares if you don't finish your beer, apparently.
Well,
They should. Doug's
Anyway.
doing it right now. Come on, Doug. Dig
No,
deep.
he's
Dig
not.
deep, brother. Just throw us. Just put it on $1 and
dude,
put it
I'm
in
glad we
Dylan's
had this much fun.
pants.
Thanks for hanging out.
I'm just
and we
gonna
will
keep
see
doing
you
it.
guys this weekend. I'm gonna have another video probably about this class.